Hello students, welcome to the online classes of marketing. In the last class we have discussed about brand strategies. As we have discussed, there are single brand product strategy and multi-brand product strategy, mixed brand strategy and distributors brand strategy, and last one trading up and trading down strategies are there, right? Today let us discuss about national and international quality standards, progress of standardization in India. In India, standardization movement is of recent development. It was introduced only in 1937, and over the last 70 years it has made some progress. Today, a good number of agricultural commodities and manufactured goods of the country are standardized and graded. Some of the agencies concerned with the standardization. There are many agencies concerned with the standardization and grading of agricultural and manufactured goods. The Central Agricultural Marketing Department, first one, that is Central Agricultural Marketing Department. Second one, the Directorate of Marketing and Inspection. And third one, Central and State Warehousing Corporations. And fourth one, the Indian Standards Institution undertake the standardization and grading of agricultural commodities. The Indian Standards Institution and the Indian Statistical Institute which undertake the standardization and grading of manufactured goods. So let us understand first one, that is Agricultural Produce Grading and Marketing Act of 1937. The Agricultural Produce Grading and Marketing Act of 1937 was passed by the Government of India in 1937 on the recommendations of the Directorate of Marketing and Inspection and the Indian Trade Commissionaries. So the main object is to bring about the improvement in the quality of agricultural produce in India through legislative control. So the main aim of this act is to bring about improvement in quality of agricultural produce. And also this act has defined the standards of quality, fixed grade specifications and prescribed grade designation marks with regard to scheduled agricultural products. The act has given wide powers to the Government of India to prescribe grade standards for various agricultural commodities. So this act has given powers to the Government of India to grade standards for various agricultural commodities. The grade prescribed by this act is known as AGMARK, that is, in the term AGMARK, AG stands for agricultural and MARK stands for marketing. So this act has empowered the agricultural marketing advisor, the Government of India, to issue certificate of authorization to those who are ready to grade and mark the products on the basis of the standards prescribed by the act. So this act, that is Agricultural Produce Act 1937, which act empowered the agricultural marketing advisor to the Government of India. So here the Government of India, they issue the certificate authorization to those who are ready to grade and mark the products on the basis of standards prescribed by the act. If anybody ready to grade and mark the products on the basis of prescribed by this act, then they will get the certificate of this AGMARK. I hope this one is clear, right? AGMARK is a certificate issued by the Government of India. So here there is some rules or regulations. So these are rules and regulations are prescribed by the act. So those who are ready to grade their products in this act, then they will get the certificate. So this act was amended in 1943 to widen its scope and to bring more commodities under standardization. Now this act brings commodities such as fruits, vegetables, dairy products, tobacco, coffee, food products, oilseeds, vegetables, oils, cotton, rice, wheat, wool, turpentine, arachidonate, etc. under AGMARK grading for internal consumption and all agricultural commodities meant for export. So today this act covers about 200 commodities. What is the progress of standardization of agricultural commodities? Standardization of agricultural commodities has made some progress in the country thanks to the Agricultural Produce Act 1937. So this act brings all the agricultural commodities meant for export and several other agricultural commodities under this standardization. The Agricultural Marketing Advisor to the Government of India is authorized to issue certificate to the packers who are ready to grade and mark the products on the basis of the standards prescribed by the Act. So this is about the Agricultural Produce Act 1937. Next we will discuss about Indian Standards Institution, that is ISI. All of you know about this, right? ISI mark. The Indian Standards Institution was established in the year 1947 by the central and state governments and the industry for developing Indian standard specifications for the manufactured products of the country. So this ISI always gives standards for manufactured products in the Indian or India. What is the objective of this ISI, Indian Standards Institution? The main objectives of ISI are preparation of standards relating to products, commodities, materials and processes. So they is to prepare the standards relating to different kinds of products, different kinds of commodities, materials and processes. It is the one main objective. And second one, the promotion of general standards at national and international level. So they always prepare to promote the general standards, general rules, general standards at national and international levels. And certification of industrial products. So this ISI, they certify the industrial products. They gave standard specification for the manufactured or industrial products. Circulation of information relating to standards and standardization. Working of ISI, the ISI is empowered by the ISI Certification Marks Act of 1952 to issue licenses to the manufacturers for the use of ISI certification mark. The ISI certification marks are issued only to those manufacturers who produce goods according to the ISI's specifications. The ISI has inspecting staff to keep constant check on the manufacturers who are granted the license to use ISI certification marks for their products, to ensure that the manufacturers are maintaining and the specified quality standards. The inspecting staff of the ISI examine the samples of manufactured goods collected from manufacturers, and sometimes they take samples even from the open market. The ISI has laboratories in the several important centers of the country for analyzing the quality standards of goods. Prompt action is taken against these manufacturers whose products do not conform to the specified quality standards. Besides ensuring the quality of manufactured goods, the ISI is also concerned with the work of development of standards for the various industrial products. It develops standards not only for industrial products but also for food products like biscuits or baby food, milk powder, etc. So far, it has laid down standards for a large number of products like biscuits, milk products, paints, shoes and electrical equipment, sports goods, etc. It lays down standards for 100 items every year. Services rendered by ISI. The ISI has rendered many useful services. The main services or benefits of ISI are: it has protected the interest of the customers by ensuring the supply of quality goods. So it protected the interest of the customers. So this ISI which always supply the quality goods to the customers. And also it has cut down the unnecessary varieties of goods. So ISI which cut down the unnecessary varieties of goods. Yes, as a customer we need varieties of goods, but ISI it cut down the unnecessary varieties. Some companies or some entities, they always manufacture unnecessary varieties of goods, right? Take for example shoes and all. So they or manufacture unnecessary varieties of goods. But this ISI which cut down the unnecessary varieties of goods, it has minimized the wastage of resources of the nation. It has increased the productivity and reduced the cost of production of goods. This ISI increased the productivity and reduced the cost of production of goods. Next, we'll discuss about Bureau of Standards, that is BIS Act 1986. Bureau of Standards Act 1986 provided for the establishment of Bureau of Indian Standards. After the establishment of Bureau of Indian Standards, the Indian Standards Institution ISI was merged with the Bureau of Indian Standards, and all the activities of the Indian Standards Institution were taken over by the Bureau of Indian Standards. The Bureau of Indian Standards, which prescribes standards and keeps control over the quality goods, it undertakes the following functions. Of Bureau of Standards, that is BIS. First one, to establish and promote Indian standards for products. The main function, the main object of this standard is to promote Indian standards for the products, right? Some products or some commodities, they have foreign standards for our product, but the main aim of Bureau of Standards is to establish and to promote Indian standards for products, to recognize the standards established by any other institution in India or outside India as Indian standards. So here this BIS or Bureau of Standards, which recognize the standards established by any other institution in India. If any other institution of India is established any standards, then this BSI, which recognize these standards, and they to establish these standards in India or else outside India as Indian standards, and to specify a standard mark to be called Bureau of Indian Standards certification mark. So if the products are recognized as an BIS, then this to get the Bureau of Indian Standards certification mark. And one more function is to grant, renew, suspend or cancel the certification mark. If any unnecessary things happened in these products or these companies, then they have the right to cancel the certification mark, or they have the right to suspend the products, and to establish and maintain and recognize laboratories for the purpose of standardization and quality control. So this BIS, they is to establish, they is to maintain, and they is to maintain some laboratories for the purpose of the maintenance of standardization and quality control, and to undertake research for the formulation of Indian standards. So this is about Bureau of Standards Act 1986. Next we will discuss about ISO. ISO stands for International Standards Organization. Today it is called International Organization for Standardization. It was established in the year 1926. It is a specialized international agency set up to promote the development of standardization to facilitate international exchange of uniform quality of goods and services. So it is a voluntary, non-governmental international organization. It has a membership of 148 countries. It is a network of 148 national standards institute. It has its central secretariat in Geneva, in Switzerland. The ISO comprises 2,700 technical committees, subcommittees and working groups looking after the standards designing and maintenance. So this ISO series have been accepted by national standards bodies of several countries including India. This ISO has set up several standards. The most famous standards are the ISO 9000 family of standards and ISO 14000 family of standards. The ISO 9000 family of standards is the international quality benchmark in the area of business to business dealings. I hope this one is clear, right? ISO 9000, there are two sets of standards, that is most famous standards are ISO 9000 and ISO 14000, right? So ISO 9000 is a family standard, international quality benchmark in the area of business to business dealings. So this ISO 9000 family of standards, which is a quality of mark in the area of business to business dealings. And what about ISO 14000 family of standards? So this ISO 14000 family of standards is the international standards set in the area of environmental protection. The ISO 9000 and ISO 14000 family of standards are generic standards, that is same standards are applied to any organization, whether it is a large or small, but it is applied for every organization, whatever it may be, the products or service, and whether it is a private business enterprise or public admission or government department. But these ISO 9000 and ISO 14000 which will be applied for every organization. ISO 9000 is concerned with quality management. That is what the organization does to enhance customer satisfaction by meeting customer and regulatory requirements and continually to improve its performance in this regard. ISO 14000 is primarily concerned with the environmental management, what the organization does to minimize harmful effects on the environment caused by its activities and continually to improve its environmental performance. So ISO 14000, the main focus of ISO 14000 is on environmental management. This is to minimize the harmful effects on the environment caused by its activities. The standards developed by ISO are very useful. The beneficiaries of ISO standards are industrial and business organization of all types of government, whether it is a government or any other regulatory bodies. So these ISO standards facilitate the supply of quality products and services and safer and cleaner environment. So this is about the national and international standards, progress of standardization in India. I hope this one is clear. By this, the third chapter ends. From the next video onwards, we will start with new chapter, that is chapter 4, advertising and sales management. If you have any doubts in this chapter, you can clarify it. Thank you.